Hello there, grade 6. For today, we are going to review on how to solve ratios. Okay, kasi last year ginawa na natin to. And of course, most students kasi tend to just forget about the process. Okay, so for this first thing right now, gagawin ko muna to yung basic one. Okay, the one that we did last time. Okay, first things first is you need to pair them accordingly. Let's say this blank 3:2. They are separated by this ratio, no? Yung ratio sign natin. So if you can notice, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng parts, no? Ito, the red is the first one, and this one is your second one, the second value. Then we now have an equal sign. Separating this one as one, we have another ratio na naman. This is your first again. And the missing part here is your other value na naman. So parang 1, 2 equals 1, 2. No? Parang first, second equals first, second. So when solving kasi, we need to pair them at first. Kailangan natin sila i-pair. Okay? Meaning 3 will be paired to 12 kasi sila pareha silang first and first. And 7 will be paired to this blank kasi pareha silang second and second. Okay? For a better illustration, you can say that 3 is to 7. Tapos sulatin nyo rin ang 12 is to blank. So if you're gonna draw a line right now, you can see that 3 and 12 are paired like how we paired them here, 1, 2. And 7 and this blank is also paired according to the column, like how we paired 7 and blank here. Okay, so medyo klaro yun. Okay. So ito yung process na ginawa natin last time. First, you get the pair, which is yung, not a pair, pero you have 3 here. Ito yung pair na given, yung walang blank, which is 3 and 7. Ito. If you notice this, we have 3 and 7. If you're going to get that 3 and 7 and proceed to skip counting, such as 3, 6, 9, 12. And if you notice, the 3, itong value ng 3 ngayon, already reached the value of 12 by just simply skip counting. 3, 6, 9, 12. Which means to get the missing pair for 7, which is ito, you just basically need to skip count 7 until you reach this part here para may pair ang 12. Okay. So let's say 7, 7, 14, 21, 28. So from this given data that we have, we can say that the pair of 7 here, or the missing value here, is 28. Okay. That is easy to do if maliit ang value natin. Kasi ang ratio nga is basically like a fraction. And if you're going to get your calculator, i-divide nyo yan isa-isa. 3 divided by 7, 6 divided by 14, 9 divided by 21, 12 divided by 28. They will basically give you the same exact answer. Okay? Now, this model is only to present to you to get the connection between values and their unknown values. Kasi may mga situations kasi that the numbers are big, that hindi na ideal. It is not right for you to do skip counting anymore kasi malalaki nga talagang numbers. So for example, we have this. Meron tayo ngayong etong number na to. So, syempre, don't tell me you're going to skip count 5. Skip count 5 until you reach 140. That's crazy. Diba? Malaki na masyado yung number. So, what can we do here? So, dito na papasok yung step-by-step process, which yung binibigay ko sa inyo last year, but we'll try to make it easier. Okay? First things first, ang pinakauna nyong gawin is to pair. First is to first. Second, another color para hindi malito. Second is to second. Which mean 5 and 40, 5 and 140 is one pair. 8 and blank is also one pair. Okay, so partner ng 5 is ang 140. Partner ng 8 is ang blank. Second thing to do after pairing, no? Kasi tapos na kayo mag-pair. You're done pairing them. Second thing to do is to get the value of the given. Yung given both, walang blank. Okay? Get the pair without the unknown. Okay, get the pair without the unknown. So, ibig sabihin yan, kasi dalawang pair natin. One is ang 5 at saka ang 140. The other one naman is ang 8 at saka ang blank. Okay, ito yung first pair natin. And this is your other pair. So, the rule says that you should get the pair without the unknown. So, ito, hindi pwede ito. This cannot be kasi may unknown to. Which means you need to get this one because it's given. Okay, given. Indirectly, you should just get the pair that is given. Pero gusto ko klaruhin without the unknown. Kasi knowing you, you will get confused with the terms. Okay? So, get the pair without the unknown. So, which is ang 5 and 10. So, anong gagawin natin ngayon sa 5 and 10? What are you going to do with 5 and 10? Next step is to divide. Divide the pair normally. Bakit ko sinasabi that you have to do it normally? Bakit I want to emphasize the term normally? Paano ba tayo nagdi-divide without any troubles? 'Di ba? Nagdi-divide tayo. You get the bigger number first. Bigger number. Divided by the smaller number. Okay, that's a must. Kahit pa gaano ka, even if we are going to switch places, even if you're going to switch the position of 5 and 8, okay, kahit nyo pa yan, okay, i-erase ko na lang muna to. I'll just move this somewhere muna. I'm gonna use this sana mamaya. Write this here, 52 is to 91 equals 4 is to blank. Okay. Doesn't matter how their arrangement is, as long as they are pair, you have to get the bigger value first, then divide it to the smaller value. So, for example, this one, 5 and 40. Anong mas malaki? Ang 5 or ang 40? If you're gonna say 5 is bigger, there's something wrong with you. So, we now have, bigger value natin is ang 140 divided by smaller number, which is 5. Ganun lang. So, ang sabi kasi dyan, divide the pair normally. So, i-divide daw natin. So, let's try to divide it now. We have 140 divided by 5. So, andito na naman siya. Distorbo na naman siya. Susulatin ko na naman siya ulit dito. All the way down. Okay. Magkaroon pa tayo ng intermission number. Okay, dito na. 140 divided by 5. So, let's answer that. Try to answer that. We have 1 divided by 5, which is hindi pwede. So, if you're gonna do the usual process of dividing, that's 0. 0 times 5 will give you 0. 1 minus 0 will give you 1. Bring down 4. The magic school bus. Do you still remember? The magic school bus. Guide natin yan. After dividing, we multiply, subtract, then bring down. Okay? Bring down 4. 14 divided by 5 now will give you 2. Yes, I know that you can just take 14 right away, but not all students get that process. Okay. Nalilito ang most students dyan if you're going to take 14 immediately from here. Okay, but if you tend to get it, okay lang, you can proceed with that process na right away. Okay, then we now already have 14 divided by 5. Meron tayong 2. We already have 2 there. After dividing, we multiply. 2 times 5 will give you 10. And will leave us with 4. Bring down 0. 40 divided by 5 will give you 8. 8 times 5 is 40 equals 0. Okay, so our answer here is 28. Okay, your quotient, tawag natin dyan. Okay, this is your quotient. Equals 28. When you divide, yung sa taas kasi yan ang answer natin. Okay, now that you have the quotient, what will you do with it? Okay, dito ngayon tayo papasok sa medyo confusing part. Okay, you have to identify the missing value. Okay, tingnan nyo. Kasi di ba kanina ang pairing is ganyan. Correct? Pero kung papansinin niyo yung partners natin, ito yung original talaga natin na ratio. Okay, 5 and 8 at saka 140 and blank. You need to be able to identify which pair is bigger and which pair is smaller. I mean ratio, okay? So ganyan na lang ang gagamitin nating terms ngayon. Identify bigger or smaller ratio. Yan ang kailangan mo natin hanapin. Is 5:8 smaller or bigger compared to 140 is to blank? Obviously, by simply looking at the pair pa lang, dyan pa lang dito pa lang mismo sa 5 at saka sa 140, ano ang mas malaki? Ang 140, di ba? 140 is bigger, which means that this value over here is bigger. And this value over here is smaller. Okay. Ngayon, saan ang missing value natin? Does this missing value belongs to which group? The smaller set of ratio or the bigger set of ratio? Okay. Diyan na ngayon papasok itong continuation for our rule number 4. Identify bigger or smaller ratio. If the missing value belongs to the, dito na tayo ngayon. Magkakaroon na tayo ngayon ng dalawa. Okay? To the what? 1. Bigger. Okay. Taganin ko na lang yun para hindi kayo ma-confused. Bigger set. What are you going to do? If the missing value belongs to the bigger set, you multiply. If the missing value belongs to the smaller set of ratio, you divide. Ngayon, the question is, ano yung multiply namin, teacher? What are you going to multiply now? And ano yung i-divide din namin? Okay, for now, we have to identify first that the missing value, like what we were able to discuss earlier, that this missing value belongs to the bigger set of ratio. Okay, which means the process involved here now is obviously multiplication. Ngayon, Teacher Mark, anong gagawin namin dyan? You take your quotient. Ano yung quotient nyo kanina? 28. You take your quotient, 28, and put the multiplication process there. And get the pair of the missing, yung partner kanina. Okay. Ito yung pair na yung missing pair natin. Partner niya is ang 8. Correct? Which means you're going to multiply yung quotient na yan to that given value ng missing pair. Okay, ito yung missing pair natin. It's this one. Okay? 8 and blank. So, missing pair natin ang 8. So, yan na. So, all you have to do now is to multiply. 8 times 8 will give you 64. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 6 will give you 22 rather. So, 224 lahat-lahat ang ating answer. Which means, the missing value now here is equivalent to 224, which means it's this blank over here. So, our answer here is 224. Okay? Again, first things first is to pair. Pair muna para alam nyo anong gagawin. Next is get the pair without the unknown. So, identify nyo yung may unknown. I mean, yung may unknown pala. So, yung walang unknown pala, sorry. Without the unknown. Then, all you have to do is to divide the pair normally. And then, later on is just to identify whether the missing value belongs to the bigger or smaller ratio, set of ratios. Okay. Then the missing value belongs to the if the missing value yan na, if the missing value belongs to the bigger set of ratio, you're going to multiply. If the missing value belongs to the smaller set of ratio, you're going to divide. Okay? So erase ko lang tong part na to. We will leave the rules there as we try to do this second value right now. Try natin to gawin one by one. Okay? For example, ito na nga. So first things first, ang sabi doon is pair. So pair nyo lang. First is to first, second is to second. Changing color para hindi ma-confuse. So, ano yung first doon is to, tapos na tayo mag-pair, no? We'll follow the instructions one by one. Pair, we're done. Second, get the pair without the unknown. Without the unknown. So that is 52 and 4. Okay, kasi ang 91, unknown man to. This is unknown. So, hindi pwede ang 91. Okay? So, it's 52 and 4. Anong gagawin natin sa 52 and 4? Divide the pair normally. Again, 52 divided by 4. And if you're going to solve it na, it's 52 divided by 4. Yan daw ang first things first na kailangan nyong gawin. So, let's try to solve this. We have 1, 4, 1, 2, 13. 3 times 4 will give you 12. That's a remainder of 0. So, our quotient here is 13. Quotient refers to the answer when we divide. Okay, dapat alam nyo na yan. Grade 6 na kayo. Ni print ko yan ni post ko yan sa likod ng blackboard dati. Okay? So, nandyan na. You now have the quotient. Anong gagawin natin ngayon sa quotient? You're done with step 3. Step 4, identify bigger or smaller ratio. So, i-identify natin ngayon ang 5 and 4. Ito. Identify natin itong group na to ngayon. This ratio or this ratio. The missing value belongs to which group? The bigger or the smaller set of ratio? It's very obvious ha. Titignan nyo. Ang pair ng 4 dito is ang 52. Anong mas malaki? Ang 52 o ang 4? Obviously, it's 52. Which means ang 4 is smaller. Which means that this group is smaller as well. Okay? Since it is smaller, anong gagawin natin ngayon? Since it is smaller, what you do here is to divide. Okay. So, i-divide down natin. Anong i-divide natin ngayon? Yung given value with the missing pair. Ito. Kasi 91 and 91 is paired to blank. Diba? 91 is paired to blank. So, all you have to do is to take 91. And ang sabi kasi dito is to divide kapag a smaller set ang given. Okay? I mean, smaller set ang missing. Okay? The smaller set is missing. So, that's 91 divided by 13. So, since this is a bigger number for you, pwede natin i-trial and error to. Let's start with 13 times 5. So, let's try to solve that. It will give you 5,165. So, hindi pa tayo umabot ng 91. Let's try 13 times 6. That's 8,178. Hindi pa rin pwede. So, let's try 13 times 7. Trial and error to sa division kasi hindi man master unless you master the multiplication table of 13. So, I'm just showing you a trial and error method. Okay? So, we have 21. Oops. And we have 91 finally. Okay, may 91 na tayo. So, now we can say that the quotient is 7. 7 times 13 will give you 91. So, no remainder. Which means that this is now our answer to our blank over here. Which means itong blank na to here is equivalent to 7. Okay. Again, pabalik-balik lang ang process natin. Okay? First is to pair. I-pair nyo lang. First things first is to pair. Pair nyo muna. Second, identify the pair. Then you have to acknowledge yung with the given. Okay, identify. Kasi next is, gagawin nyo is just to basically divide them. pair, identify pair, then divide, then also get the other pair yung may ano pa to. You have to determine which ratio is bigger or smaller. Okay, which set of ratio is bigger or smaller. Noon lang. Then next is to apply the final process, whether you are either going to multiply or divide, depending on your situation here. Okay, again, just follow the steps one by one. You'll eventually get it. It's confusing, but this is the only way for us to solve the ratio. Step by step lang talaga yan. Okay, you just need to apply logic here on how to solve it. So I'm asking for your great effort to solve for that. Kasi if Teacher Mark will answer with you again, tendency is that I'll be doing all the work again and you are not doing your part. Okay? In other words, you are not learning. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, sige na. That's it for today. So, i-answer nyo lang yung maliit na paper nyo for now. And also try to answer the word problems kung kaya. Anyway, have a good day ahead.